if you don't have a Dremel or don't want to chance the life of all your wiring with it, then nibbling away with the pliers is a very safe approach. You can lift all the wires up, get your teeth of the plier, nose of the plier onto the top of the plastic at the bottom, and then twist it. And then put another bite and twist it, and another bite and twist it, each time keeping the wires out of the way. Probably safer than using a Dremel. And here's a tip for removing the bottom screws of the bottom torque screws of the fan. I use this wiggly, windy thing on my cordless drill, my impact driver, which made it nice and easy. Okay, so even nibbling away at the back makes it blooming hard to get in, and I managed to damage it getting in, so I've got another one delivered today. But in the meantime, I've decided to remove this front manifold with the flappers in it, as per the UK instructions for doing this job, rather than the easy video. I just want to say, it looks like you can still do that without removing the glove boxes, because you can bend the passenger one out of the way the same way as you bend the driver's side one out of the way to get to the screws. Okay, so today was a classic example of feeling a bit more enthusiastic at the beginning of a day than the end of a day, and making better decisions. So I spent hours nibbling away at that blooming wiring enclosure at the back there, trying to follow the easy way video about how to remove it, and it is always incredibly difficult to get it in and out, so difficult. And you're so likely to damage the outer ring of the hamster cage fan wheel thingamajigger. You're so likely to damage it, and as soon as you do, it starts screaming on high speeds. So for the sake of 10 minutes more work, I really suggest, as per the UK video, removing this bit, the flapper bit. It's not that difficult. You just have to pop off and forcibly move out of the way the passenger and driver vents, unscrew and remove the ones that go to the front vents, which is quite easy, and then undo that hook that does the control. If I can see it, there's a control lever on the side, which you just, as soon as you bent that flapper valve round about that much, you can pretty easily get the control rod out, and then it comes out, and then you've got loads of room. With regards to this pipe, you have to remove the glove boxes if you want to undo the screw in that passenger vent pipe, and I really didn't want to remove the glove boxes because of my time saving earlier, and it turns out you don't need to. You can just forcibly move that pipe out of the way, the same way they get you to forcibly move the other pipe out of the way, and it's fine. Hopefully it'll be fine putting it back. I'll tell you if it isn't. But once that's out of the way, and you've nibbled at that anyway, as I did, it is so easy to get it out then. And I'm so confident now that when I put the new one in, I won't damage it. If it still howls, I'll tell you what, it's because it's a cheap one, and we'll find out. Right, so we're going to unbox this fan and see if it spins correctly in my Range Rover. So here we go. Just arrived from Amazon for around £40. Doobie-doobie-doo. Here it is. Very exciting. There we go. One new fan. Let's go and put it in the Range Rover and see what happens. Ugh. Right. Unlock the Range Rover. Okay, and let's get it in there. How exciting. So this one, I've made a very big hole in the dashboard, so it'll fit in without any problem, without touching any sides, because the last time I broke it because it was too small a hole. So I've dug a huge hole in the dashboard now, so there's no chance of it getting broken. Let's pop it in. How am I going to do this? One-handed. That'll be a real show off, won't it? Fitting it one-handed. But it is a huge hole. That's no good. I'm going to have to put it in. How am I going to put the camera? Right, so easy peasy fitting it in with this huge hole. If we spin it round, we can see there's absolutely no damage, unsurprisingly, to the wheels, because it barely touched the sides going into this massive hole. So now I'll put the screws in. Screws are in, so it's the moment of truth. So this one is most definitely in perfect condition as delivered. No damage to it whatsoever. Obviously last time when I got it in, I tried to put it in and I still had this piece in place. There was a lot less room and I managed to crack one of the fan, the circles here, and that could be why it made lots of noise. But now we'll find out whether it was that or whether these fans that are £40 are just not very well made. Let's hope it's a good one. So let's find out. I need to reconnect the battery, don't I? Oh no, the battery's connected, so I should just be able to wake it up and give it a spin. How exciting. Here we go. It doesn't look promising, does it? Look at the amount of wobble on it already. Oh, it's got loads of wobble on it. Goodness me. That's not great, is it? Well, I need to put my goggles on if we're going to go faster, I think. Otherwise I might end up losing my face. Well, here we go. Let's crank it up. That's 2. 3. Hope we're not going to lose the windscreen. Press 4. So it was 5. I'm getting a bit scared now. 6. If I say 50 pound, then we get. Bloody hell, I'm scared. One more. And that will max it. Doesn't appear to be any noise. I'll tell you what, I've never been so scared watching it spin around that fast. I mean, the balance isn't great on it, but it isn't making the screeching noises the last one did, so I guess it's okay.